and just seated. And we're gonna just do some rocking. So it's like an excellent way to get your spine kind of warmed up, and it's almost like a foam rolling session. So we'll lay down on your back. First of all, just circle your knees around. And we'll switch directions. So here you want your hips tipping back and forth a little bit from side to side. So the ground is kind of circling around your sacrum there. All right, so let's tip side to side. You can either grab a hold of your knees or keep your hands off knees. So we're gonna just tip side to side here, not using elbows to prop yourself up, but just reaching with your knees, using your abs and bringing them back. All right, so you're gonna circle your feet now, so keep your feet together, just reaching out and in. So think of it's like your feet are stirring the pot. And stir the pot the other way. And good. From here, let's give one knee a hug, push the other leg out. And we'll just kind of alternate those. So give a squeeze, get enough to feel the stretch on your straight leg, and we'll switch. All right, from there, we're gonna start to rock a little bit here. So now we rock back, forward. Two options here. You can either hold your knees while you do that, or you can go hands free. So again, rocking is just a way to, sort of like foam rolling, but on the ground. Just a good way to loosen things up in the morning. And on your last rock, let's stay at the top, and we'll fold your hips down. One knee in, or one hip turned in, one hip turned out. Just hanging out here, trying to get both butt bones on the ground. And then we're going to take your chest over your forward leg. So whatever knee is in front, you're going to take your elbows to the ground. See if you can get both elbows equally on the ground. Meaning you're not just pushing through one elbow, you're pushing through both. And then let's take your hands and walk yourself around, looking behind you. And good. And then either using your hands behind you or hands free, we're going to switch sides. So just turn your shins over like windshield wipers. Now we're in that 90-90 position on the other side. And leaning forward over your front leg, trying to take both elbows to the ground. you're not getting a hip stretch here, you can take that foot and move it forward. The more forward you move your foot, the more stretch you're going to get on your hip. And finally, come on up, walk yourself around, just like you're looking behind you. And good. From here, we're going to come up to half kneeling, so one knee on the ground, getting nice and tall. And let's take a big step forward, just lunging forward. Then we're going to take that step out to the side, lunging out to the side, 45 degrees. And we'll just go through those. Really start to stretch the front part of your hip. And let's go ahead and switch sides. So we lunge forward and 45 degrees. As you step forward, make sure you're not arching your lower back. You want to try to keep your tailbone tucked. And good. From there, two things you can do. You can either curl your toes under and sit your hips back towards your heels, or we go feet flat on the floor like you were putting your shoelaces on the floor, and we sit there. So we're just going to hinge up and down here, reaching your butt back towards your heels. I'm going to fold my feet down just because I need that stretch, something that I'm not great at. So I'm going to make sure I'm stretching those tissues on the front of my feet, maybe opening up my ankles a little bit, which would also help with the squat. So just reaching back, tapping your heels, coming back up. This is basically, if I was holding a weight, or holding a bar in front of me here, this is basically just the same exact movement as a deadlift. So we are warming up hips right now. All right, let's come up to half kneeling again. All right, we're gonna do kind of that same motion. You'll probably have to bring your foot back in a little bit. But we want that same motion, just sitting back and coming forward. Sitting back, coming forward. So now you're only sitting on top of one heel. And let's go ahead and switch sides. So you're gonna have, your foot's probably gonna be a little bit more underneath you rather than that full 90 degrees at the knee, 90 degrees at the hip position. Bring that foot back in just a little bit. Again, just alternating tall kneeling or half kneeling, I guess, and sitting back on that heel.
Okay, so that part in it where it flex back, that's like too much flexion on the knee when it's single knee.
Yeah.
Is there a way to counteract that?
Really no way. The only way to it's just to limit the range of motion. So one way to do that might be just to have a pillow there, or just don't reach back quite as far. But yeah, that's why we do that actually. Just trying to, and for some people it's going to be too much.
Yeah.
That's understandable. But we do want to get into that full knee flexion every once in a while. But I understand if it is grinding. The reason that I do it, the reason we do it in this is because it's a movement that we want to touch every so often. But if it does cause pain, then obviously it's not a good option for you right now. Okay, so let's come up to standing. And we're going to do one little balance drill here before we get into our circuit. All right, so the challenge is we're going to reach in 3 directions. Okay, we're going to reach forward and backward. So you're just standing on one foot. You're going to reach forward like an SLDL. And we're going to stay on that same foot. You're going to take your hands. You're going to reach backward as far as you can. So let's reach 5 times, reaching forward like an SLDL as far as you can. And then looking up, reaching backwards. So as soon as you look up, it changes the game a little bit. So reaching up, reaching back, and that's 5 times for me. So we'll switch feet. Reaching forward as far as you can. Leaning back, reaching backwards as far as you can. Like you're trying to touch the wall behind you. All right, so we're gonna go back to the original leg. So the leg that you started on. And this time we're gonna reach side to side. So you're standing on that leg, you're gonna reach out as far as you can. So we're kind of leaning out, changing that center of gravity. Then you're gonna take your other leg or reach with your other hand to the other side as far as you can. Okay, like you're standing on a little tiny base, and we're trying to reach out and grab something on one side, reaching out, trying to grab something on the other side. So you almost end up doing like a drop lunge or like almost like a curtsy type of lunge when you reach out in one direction. So let's reach 5 times each direction. So again, with this, we're warming up hips. We're working on balance, doing a little conditioning for your foot and your lower leg. Try to avoid tapping the floor if you can. And switch sides. Again, you can challenge yourself here, reaching out as far as you can while still keeping your balance. So if your upper body reaches one direction, probably means your leg has to go out the other direction just to counterbalance. So we're consistently taking our foot through a range of motion here. Okay, last one. We've gone forward and backward. We've gone side to side. The other way we move is by rotating. So you're gonna glue your foot to the ground. Okay, you're gonna reach and turn into that leg, look behind you. Then you're gonna open up and look behind you the other direction. Okay, so not only are we reaching here, we're also looking with your eyes, turning your head, which makes this a lot more difficult. So we'll close the hip as you reach back and open, reach the other direction. We do 5 times each leg. The goal here would be to not touch that other toe to the ground. All right, switching to the other side. Close that hip. And we open all the way up around. So just like you're trying to reach all the way behind you, trying to get to that midline. And good. Okay. So the way we're going to do the circuit, we're going to go 1 minute on 3 different activities, 3 different exercises, and we'll go 3 rounds. So for a total of 9 minutes, we just go through 3 exercises, 1 minute at a time. Remember, we're trying to get through this with good form, and the phrase that I've heard that I really like is nutritious movements. So we're just trying to take your body through movements that that are natural to human beings. So this isn't about sweating it out and burning a ton of calories. This is just about moving yourself around in ways that we should be able to move. So the 3 exercises for today. Number 1, rocking, which is what we started with this morning. And that could be anywhere from just doing the rock right on your spine that we did. So you're here, just rocking back, coming forward, might be hands free, all the way to maybe doing a shoulder roll where you're rolling back, tapping that foot to the floor, and coming forward. Okay, so that whatever you need for that. Another little game you can play is rocking back, coming forward, and trying to balance on your butt without your heels touching the floor. So you're going to go back, come forward, try to balance, keeping those heels up off the floor. So that's the first one. The second one, just going to go into a tripod transition. So we're just using a strong shoulder, pushing the heel of your hand down into the ground and reach forward with your foot and tap the floor. And you're going to take that foot under you and reach back and tap the floor. So reach forward, reach back. And then we'll do 30 seconds each side there. Last thing we're going to do is just tall kneeling to standing. So from there, we'll be in this tall kneeling position. And we're going to try to do it hands-free, so no hands on your thighs, but we stand up. Then you'll take that same leg straight back down to the ground. Check in with tall kneeling, then take the other leg up. So we're basically just kind of going from a standing position, trying to do it hands-free, but if you need a little assistance from your hand, that's no big deal, okay? All right, so we're just going through some movements today. We're gonna go for 9 minutes. Every minute, we'll switch the exercise, and we'll repeat each exercise 2 times, okay?
Yep.
All right, so we'll go ahead, starting with the rocking. And we'll get started in 3, 2, 1, here we go. So just taking a minute here. If you're holding your knees, try to do it without holding your knees. That would be the next step. We're 30 seconds in. "45 seconds. We've got 15 seconds left. Three, 2, one, and we're into the tripod transition. So we're gonna do 30 seconds aside here, reaching that foot forward, pulling it through, reaching back and tapping the floor behind you. So here, obviously, we're engaging your shoulder, working strong through your core. And let's switch sides. You might notice that one side feels a lot different than the other. Probably means you practice one side a lot and don't so much practice the other side as much. Five seconds left. And good, come on up to that tall kneeling position. Just gonna get tall, bring one foot forward, up to standing. Take that leg straight back. And we meet back at tall kneeling. And we alternate those. We want our upper body to be as quiet as possible here. So not a lot of shifting back and forth. So as you bring that knee up, you're gonna have to shift your weight a little bit to get onto one leg, but really we want your upper body to be nice and quiet as you do this. 20 seconds left. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1, and back to the rocking. One little game you can play is kind of trying to do a 360. So we're kind of rocking around here. Get yourself to face the other way. 30 seconds in. Fifteen seconds left. Five seconds. 2, 1, and tripod transition. So opposite hand and foot are going to be on the ground. If my right hand is flat on the ground, my left foot is going to be flat on the ground. You're reaching as far forward as you can, reaching as far backward as you can. If you want to up the challenge here, you'll reach as far as you can, just don't touch the floor. So we're reaching all the way out, letting that foot hover, reaching all the way back, letting that foot hover. And let's switch sides. Remember, as you reach back, it's not just reaching with your leg, you're pointing your belly button down at the ground, reaching as far back as possible. And relax, we're coming up to tall kneeling. So tall kneeling up to standing. And alternating at the bottom. We're halfway through this, 30 seconds to go. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1, and back to the rocking. Last time through. Halfway through here. Ten seconds left. And relax. Okay, tripod transition one last time. Remember, opposite hand and foot are going to be flat. It's great for core stability, hip stability, and shoulder stability. 3 seconds left on this side. 2, 1. Let's switch sides. So remember, we're trying to push that heel of your hand down into the floor. Keep yourself as far away from the floor as possible. So want this shoulder down, don't let it crunch up by your ear. 10 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and 1 minute left here. Let's go tall kneeling, up to standing. Twenty seconds left. Five seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. So after a session like this, the whole goal is to feel more energy, to feel kind of like you had a movement massage, and energetic, ready to go tackle the day. So I don't know, like my heart rate came up a little bit.